Holy smokes everyone, in this video we're going to be going over exactly what's happening in the cryptocurrency markets, exactly what's happening with Bitcoin, because I see there's still so much denial in the cryptocurrency markets. I look at all the bullish YouTube videos and there's still so much denial in the comment section from all these cryptocurrency investors, and honestly I feel for them because I was in their picture in 2016 when I first started investing in cryptocurrency. I thought it could only go to the moon, and I thought this was it. It was going to take over the world, going to take over the universe, like Michael Saylor says. It's going to be the intergalactic currency on Mars. But unfortunately, this happens with all technology. Like with the internet, with the dot-com boom, the internet was going to change the world. But when speculation gets too high, when things get out of control too much, things do have to come back down to reality. So I'll be talking about exactly what I think is going on in the cryptocurrency markets and with Bitcoin, and what I think is going to happen in the future. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's hit the charts. Okay, so as we can see here, it's a pretty red day for the cryptocurrency market. Now, I know declines are normal in the cryptocurrency markets. I know it's very volatile, and this is what I hear again and again. But what's not normal, what doesn't normally happen in a bull run, is for a crash of over 50%. That didn't happen last bull run, and that hasn't happened this bull run. So what people have to get through their heads is, do you know what the literal definition of a bear market is? The definition of a bear market is when an asset or an industry of assets fall 20%. Bitcoin dropped over 50%, nearly 55%. If that's not enough to define exactly that we're in a bear market, I don't know what is. Now, I know, look, there's been times where it's dropped 30, 40% and then it has gone up. That's true. But people, we had over a 50% drop. So as we can see here, Bitcoin is down around 7% today. It's around 33,800 as of recording this. Ethereum is down around 12%. It's around 2,200 now. And if we look at the alts, Binance down 13%, Cardano 11%. Dogecoin still holding pretty strong, Doggy Coin, but I think, it is very possible that Doge could go back down to 5 cents. That's down around 8%, XRP 12%, and we don't really care about all the other low cap crappy coins. Now again, everyone, this is very, very important for you to see, because like I was saying, dips are normal, but look at this chart. During the last bull run, we could see here we'd have dips of 38%, then we go up 138%, then down 38%, then up 100%. But if you look at all these dips here, none of them were really over 40% or over 50%. So all these people saying, look, this drop's normal, nothing to worry here, guys. It's completely normal. It's happened before. It hasn't happened before. Yeah, there may have been a dip in 2013, but that was when the market cap was so low. All it takes is one big institution to completely dump or pump the price 50%. So according to CoinMarketCap here, it did hit a low. The lowest it hit today was $33,500. It will be interesting to see if that will be the low for the day, or if we will hit a lower low. But guys, look at this 1 year chart here. We can see we are in a bullish trend here. We're setting in lower highs and lower lows. And if we look at the all-time chart here, look at that dump. If this doesn't show you that we're in a bear market, I don't know what will. And if we look at the 3 months chart for when Bitcoin hit its all-time high of around 64,500, we can just see we're on a downtrend here. Now, this is where the traps happen, and this is what I've been warning about. I've been warning about this, but I'll put up a video saying, look, the Bitcoin bull run's over, but then this will happen. I'll put up a video here that the bull run's over, and then it'll pump to 42K, and people are like, oh, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about, we're going back to the moon. And this doesn't just happen on my channel, it happens on other channels where people try to warn them that the bull run's over. People are in so much denial, and guys, I went through this in 2016 and 2017. I didn't want to admit that the bull run was over when it was over, because people get so hooked on hopium and they want to believe so much that this $10,000 or whatever they invest in can turn to $100,000, $1 million and change their lives, that they become blind and they ignore all the fundamentals and facts, and they become pretty much delusional. But I warned, this is a bull trap. And then you can see, then we dumped again to around 31,000, but it doesn't really have the live exact numbers here, but we did dump to 31,000 on May 23rd. And again, we rallied to 40,000. People are like, oh, the bull run, it's not over. We're still going. We're going back to 100K, 300K. But again, I came out and warned you, no, This is just traps. And people saying, oh, look, the whales are buying here, everyone. You are idiots for selling, the whales are buying. Because again, they just play with your emotions. Here, there's complete fear. People think Bitcoin's going to go to zero. So then the whales come in, they buy, they pump it up, and then people think, oh, it's going to go back to the moon. So all the retail investors buy up here, and then they dump it again. And then they repeat the process. They dump it, and then they pump it, and people buy back in again, and then they dump it again. And a lot of these crypto moon boy channels, they're like a weatherman that won't tell you it's raining until he literally walks outside and it's pouring rain, and then he'll be like, okay guys, I can officially tell you it's raining. What they've been saying during these tips is, look guys, the bull run's not over, the bull run's not over, and literally they'll wait till it hits 20k, then they'll say, guess what everyone, it's officially over. Well, what I've been trying to do is, for example, a real life analogy, I can see the black cloud above us. I can smell the rain in the air. It's very, very obvious that it's about to rain. But all these people, they see a little crack in the clouds or a little bit of sun glimmering. They say, no, it won't rain, when it clearly obvious it is. And so that's what I try to do. I try to warn you beforehand of what's going to come. But when I say, look, for example, when I made my video of where Bitcoin could go to $19,000, $20,000, if it doesn't go down to $20,000 straight away, people are like, oh, you're wrong. But I try to warn you ahead of time. And like we look at the charts here, it's not just a straight drop. We see dumps, then we see pumps, and people think it's going. Then we see dumps again and pumps. It's not just going to, when I make this video, just drop to 20k like that the next day. We're going to see a lot of volatility. And who knows, it could take 3 to 6 months to get there. If we look at the last bull run, when it hit 20k, let's look here in December, it didn't hit the bottom until 1 year later. So imagine people, it dumped here, then it rebounced back to 17k, and people buying there, and then people buying back here again, and then in May, buying back at 10,000, and then just completely sold off in December 2018. So people, you have to be patient. People that are patient will be paid, and they'll be paid well. Now, also, there's a lot of new investors in the cryptocurrency markets that don't really understand the economy, don't really understand economics, the macroeconomic picture, or don't really understand how markets work or how asset cycles work. So let me just give you a quick rundown. The reason why we saw this big run up in Bitcoin from here was because the mass amount of money printing. Okay, everyone. So a big reason why Bitcoin was going up was because of the skyrocketing amount of M2 money supply that was being created. And they're saying, look, your money is being devalued, you need to invest in Bitcoin. And that's completely true. Last year, that was true. If you're investing in Bitcoin, we have a look at the charts here. When it was down around here and you saw all the money printing they were doing, yeah, that was a good play. But what happens is with markets, they try to price in events before it happens. So now what's happening is money supply is actually been going down a bit the past couple of months. We can see here it hit a peak on April 5th of around 20 trillion 375 billion, and then it kind of dipped a little bit to 20 trillion 139 billion, and it's kind of creeping back up here, but we're kind of plateauing here. So what's going on now is we're actually could be going through a great deleveraging, because all these big hedge funds and institutions that have been using margin and debt, they may think interest rates are going to go up, because what happens with inflation, yeah, it's good for assets, but it's only good for assets until interest rates start going up. So everyone, this is another huge reason why Bitcoin has been rallying the past year, but why it may not continue to rally because of this indicator. So if we look at the US dollar index, around May last year, it was at 100. But since then, the dollar has completely plummeted in value because of all the money printing. And it's gone from around 100 to around 90 that it is now. But what will happen is, if the Federal Reserve here, we can see their balance sheet has skyrocketed, and that's what led a lot of assets to skyrocket in value, because their balance sheet went from around 4 trillion to nearly $8 trillion. If the Federal Reserve starts to taper, because what's happening right now is there's a shortage amount of US treasuries, and we're seeing in the reverse repo market operations, the Federal Reserve is having to sell nearly $500 billion of treasuries to banks because of this great shortage. And now the speculation that the banks are then taking those treasuries and shorting the US treasury market, because if the Federal Reserve does lift interest rates, then that means the US Treasury prices or bond prices will fall. But I'm starting to go on a bit of a tangent there. That's a topic for another video. But just to put it simply, markets, like I said, they try to price in these events before it happens. The inflation, the money printing, the Federal Reserve's balance sheet, they price it in anticipation. Now what the markets are doing is they're pricing in tapering. They're pricing in the dollar strengthening in value, and they're pricing in interest rates going up. And if that happens, a lot of these high risk assets will sell off, not just Bitcoin, but also tech stocks as well. And what's happening is we're going from a risk on environment because of all this stimulus that went out. People were given free money and all this money printing because the dollar was losing so much value. Now we're going into a risk off environment. Now, during the last bull run, Bitcoin hit a high of almost 20,000, and then it fell all the way down to $3,200. So about an 80 to 85% drop here. So that means during this next bear market, it's very possible. Now, it may not fall as much as the last bull market because as markets mature, the volatility reduces and also the drops reduce. It is possible that we could see $15,000 to $13,000 Bitcoin in this bear market. So everyone, that's just my thoughts on what exactly is going on in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets. And I hope I showed you what's actually going on in the bigger picture with a macroeconomic environment. And I hope this gave you some thoughts and insights because unfortunately, I see so much people in denial and this diamond hand culture and this meme culture and this hold the line and, apes together strong culture. It's actually really bad because all these people promoting it, I bet you they're selling, but all the tens of thousands of people that they're pretty much brainwashing, they're pretty much mentally manipulating them to hold their stocks forever. So that way their value of their stocks don't go down. They're doing the community a great disservice here. Now everyone, look, I love Bitcoin and I'm bullish on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in the long run. But I learned from last bull run not to hodl in the bear market because it is very possible that we could fall a lot lower here. So once we did have that 55% drop and we rebounded to around 42K, I did sell off the rest of my cryptocurrency because I have been dollar cost averaging out because I learned my lesson from the last Bitcoin cryptocurrency market. And what you need to learn your lesson is to take profits. And nobody goes broke taking profits. Don't get greedy for that last extra 10 or 20%. Now, for all my loyal viewers and subscribers still watching, you're awesome. If you haven't already, please tap that like and subscribe button. I'll keep you all up to date on the latest happening in the cryptocurrency market, stock market, and global finance news. If you're bored, I'll put up some of my other videos here. I'll see you there.